Somebody can have an abundance mindset, but in a scarcity environment is everything. Environment is very key in our whole lifestyle. Very important is to understand that environment shapes our mindset and the person that we are and the person that we're becoming. And so we must protect it at all costs. You see, somebody can have an abundance mindset, but in a scarcity environment. And that person with that abundance, if they're not careful, what happens is that slowly the negativity, the scarcity will start to chip away from the values, the growth, and the person that they are. And I'm saying this because I myself I've experienced it. I've gone through it, and I'm possibly going to keep going through it some days and sometimes. And one thing I've realized is that negativity does not need permission to come in. It just sips its way in. And so what we have to do is we need to understand that we must stand guard at the door of our mind every single day. What information are you allowing in? What conversations are you having? What type of people do you have around you? What are they doing? What are they reading? Who are they becoming? If you don't do that, because everything that is happening is programming your mindset, and it's going to rewire your mindset in the brain in the course of your action. So how do we protect it? How do we make sure that we're protecting ourselves from things that does not serve us? If you're trying to be abundant, if you're trying to be a person that is of growth, of greatness, you have to be in a certain environment as opposed to the things that does not serve you, the negativity and the scarcity, and the scarcity.
How can we tackle the negative thoughts, the negative pressures that infiltrate our mind? How do we overcome them so that we are thinking more abundant and more positive every day?
You see, the brain is like a vacuum, and what happens is that in a single day, you're having thousands of thoughts, and every thought has its own emotions that it carries. It is not just about the thought, but the emotions. Something can happen to you, and 5 years ago, somebody can have a past experience, but just the thought of it triggers an emotion. And let's just say that it's somebody that did something bad to them. As soon as they think about that person, there's a thought, there's an emotion affiliated with that, and it just triggers something. And so, how do you stop it? You really cannot stop your thoughts. Your thoughts is going to keep coming. But what you need to do is become aware. Observe those thoughts. Once you become observant of it, you don't attach yourself with those thoughts. So if a thought comes in, what you need to do, that's why I practice meditation, just be in the present. Observe it, understand that it is just a thought. But as soon as you try to fight it or you try to associate yourself with those thoughts, it grabs a hold of you. It becomes more, and there's more coming in. But another thing that you must understand is that you need to associate yourself or get in a place where whatever that you want to think or whatever that you want to become, you start getting those information. What do I mean by that? So if you need to get rid of those negative thoughts, you have to unlearn. You have to unlearn those behaviors. You have to unlearn those programs that you've carried along since you were a kid. And so once you get that, you get rid of the bad environment that you're comfortable in. You get rid of the negative thoughts. The mind is a vacuum, like I said. It is not going to stay vacuum. You have to start pouring new thoughts, new positivity. And how do you do that? Start reading books that develop you personally. Start talking to people that has already done what you're trying to do, and start making sure that you're studying them. What do they read? What do they say? How do they speak? How do they shake hands? People want to become above average, but they're doing average things. You have to become above average. Learn how are they walking, right? How are they sitting? What types of conversations are they having? Once you start doing that, the negativity, you're dying it down. Those thoughts of negativity is not piling up. What you must understand is the thoughts that you associate yourself with It's like a brick. You're laying it layer by layer. So once you let go of that, you have to start building positive bricks and things that will foster the positivity and the growth, because it's not going to come naturally. Positivity in a world of scarcity does not just come like that. And so you must make sure, again, have a great people around you, people that's pour in abundance, pour in positivity, growth, prosperity, success, and you surely get there.
Awesome, fantastic. And then a few more questions. One of them that have come in is just overall in general. For the young guy who's trying to make it, trying to succeed, he's coming out of a lifestyle or a pattern of scarcity, of fear, of feeling inadequate, feeling inferior. How does he tackle those types of negative thoughts? How does he allow himself to think more highly of himself and have a more positive outlook about life when he's gone through so many traumatic experiences? How does he heal from that?
Absolutely, that's a very good question. You see, what we must understand is that we have two minds, the subconscious and the conscious mind. The subconscious is full of programs. So what you're saying, all the trauma, all the bad lifestyles, possibly smoking, drinking, partying, all these stuff is habits that he has formed. It's a program that he's formed. And then you have your conscious mind, which is only 5% of what you do day to day. So 5% of your life is, you can hear this information that I'm talking about. You're motivated, you're happy, you want to change, you've heard somebody is doing good, so you want to be like them, you want to change, and you're excited, you're motivated. But what you must understand is that is only applying to the 5%, the consciousness of who you are. But really, the programs and the habits is 95% of your day-to-day life. So 95% is built on this program. You enjoy doing the things that does not serve you. You enjoy those bad lifestyles because it comes easy. It is something that you've done for a long time. You're traumatized for, let's just say the person is 25, 30 years old. They're traumatized for their whole 30 years. And so it's not going to be easy just changing in 2 days, 3 days, a year, 2 years, 3 years. Nobody can put a cap on it. Everybody is different depending on their experiences. And so what you must understand is that you've built programs, you've built habits, you have beliefs, you've agreed on certain things. Let's just say that somebody did something to you, bad parenting, bad environment, bad community. Ultimately, that happened, that is true, but you still agreed to those beliefs and those values that was fostered. But only you have the key to heal yourself, to resolve that. What do I mean by this? Once you start to understand that you want to change, you want to grow, you have to be ready. There's going to be a war, a mental war, a spiritual war, a physical war, a psychological war. Because the old habits and the programs, your old you is not just going to let you go. It's going to be your friends and families, they're not going to let you go. One of the biggest things that a lot of the boys and the people are scared to hear is that, oh, you've changed. If they hear that you've changed, that's it. You might as well just kill them, right? So what you have to do is understand that this is your life. It's the course of your life. And so the day that changes your life is when you say, I've had it. Enough is enough. Once you do that, again, be ready. It's going to be a war with you going back to those old habits that does not serve you versus you doing the things that serve you. What is that? Start doing the habits that is good. So if, let's say you want to go to the gym, start making sure that before you sleep, you have your bag packed up with your gym equipments, your attire, whatever it is, and don't even give your mind the chance to say that when I wake up, I want to just relax for a little bit. I want to be on my phone for 2 minutes, 3 minutes just to scroll. No, don't do that, because that is actually acknowledging those old habits and patterns. And that is how your mind tricks you. The old self tricks you, because it's a habit. It's a comfort. All right. So you must become aware. That is the key phrase. Become aware of what the mind is doing, of what those old programs are doing, and then do the opposite. So if you wake up and you know that you've been scrolling and you want to change, this is if you want to change, if you want to get better, then don't do that. Put your phone away. You have to start creating things that does not give the old patterns an easy way to fall back into those things that does not serve you. And so, how do you do that? First, understand that it is just going to be you and your God, but you have to start it. You have to build that personal development by building those habits, by saying no to, let's say the boys want to go to the club and you know that, nah, for the 3 months, I'm just going to focus, start working out, eating good, drinking my protein shake, drinking my water. Start saying no to that. And don't be afraid of what they're going to say, because people will say stuff. They will always try to pull you back in. The community, the environment will always try to pull you back in. And so start building those habits. Start becoming that better person by doing it. You have to do it every day to reprogram your mind, because your mind has been programmed. And then, of course, when it comes to spirituality, believe in your God, right? Have that higher power within you, and just keep doing it every day, every single day. And once you start doing that, what you're going to realize is that things are going to start coming to you. You're going to attract the right environment, the right people. You start going to the right masterminds, the right network. The right YouTube videos will start coming to you, the algorithm. Everything will change about you because you've changed the inside, the within. As within, as without. So you start in here first. You start doing what is necessary. You start praying. You start meditating. You start going to the gym. You start speaking positivity to yourself and leave that environment. Don't be scared of what they're going to say to you, because they will say stuff. But don't be scared of that. And just once you start doing that, again, you're going to find great people along the way and become a part of them. Start putting yourself in that great people that you want to be a part of.
Fantastic. And last question that we have here from our panel is, obviously we can't always be on 1,000. There are going to be some days where we're just not able to hit the target. We'll fall short. How do we give ourselves grace as we are trying to better ourselves, but know that it'll come with days where we cannot execute on everything that we tell ourselves we want to do?
Once you have a why, once you have something that really pushes you, there's no days that you're going to wake up and say, oh, I hate this. You're actually going to be motivated. You're actually going to be inclined to get up and do what you say you want to do. The only reason why you're not doing it is because your why is not strong enough. It's because what you're saying that you want to do is really not what you're willing to pay the price. There's a price for everything. Nothing is permanent in this world. If you want greatness, you must pay the greatest. If you want average, you must pay average. If you want weakness, you must pay weakness. And so depending on what your why is and what you're trying to become will determine what are the requirements. These are non-negotiables. Now, yes, there are going to be days where you don't feel like doing it. That is where you have to understand that there's a difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation will only get you that far. You're motivated to get up, start going to the gym, start planning on, let's say you have a business and you're doing it. You're motivated to do that. But what separates you from that person that actually gets it is that discipline. And so instead of having that mindset of, let me give myself grace, because that's the old self talking to you. All right, that's the old self. And I'm saying this because when you're starting off, you need to set a good pace. Because if you don't set that good pace and give yourself those excuses and lack and some leeways, guess what? You're going to fall back because you haven't built the discipline yet. So if you're feeling like that, then that means that it is that old self. If you're starting off and you're feeling like that, it's that old self really tricking you to go back into that old habits. Because you know that once you start saying, oh, today I have to give myself grace, you're going to go back to your phone. You're going to start scrolling. You're not actually going to do what's necessary. So build the discipline first. As you build that discipline, some days, after 2 years, 3 years, it's going to get boring because you're doing the same thing every day. And success really is really small, simple disciplines every single day. It is not fun, right? It's not fun. It's not fun to meal prep and eat the same food. And it's not fun to go to the gym and carry all this weight. Trust me, I'm saying it because I go through it. I don't want to eat the same food every day nowadays. But when I first started, I had a very strong why. And so I was very committed. I wanted to get up. I wanted to eat my meals because I wanted something bigger than myself. And it felt good. You see, that's the thing. It feels good. Once you start doing it, the price actually feels good. The price of discipline versus the price of regret. One weighs ounces, the other weighs tons. You do not want to have that regret. That is actually very, very painful rather than going through the discipline, painful route, which is the key. So if you're starting off, don't give yourself that leeway. Push yourself, because the only way to get to that next level is when you put stress to yourself, when you overcome that fear. And one thing that I have to also say is fear is always going to be there. The only reason why a lot of people are not having fear is because they're not challenging themselves. Now, I'm not saying fear as every day, 24/7, have fear. Nuh-uh. Right? You're not in the fight or flight mode. Don't be like that. But you must challenge yourself. And once you challenge yourself, there's going to be fear, because you're going to the unknown. You're going to things that your body and your mind is not used to. So why are you trying to get there? There's going to be fear. And so when you're starting off, force yourself, build that discipline first. And as time goes on, when it gets boring, then you start associating yourself with higher people, higher level. I'm saying this because I myself, I'm going through it, looking for higher things and higher achievements and higher people to surround myself with, because there's levels to this. You think that you've reached a cap. You're really not. There's always going to be something bigger, something better. So talk yourself, rewire yourself first, and then when you're feeling those type of ways, put yourself in a team that will keep pushing you and keep growing. But if it does come, just know that it's a part of life. It's a stage. Don't beat yourself up. Don't feel like you're a failure. Sometimes your mind will tell you that. Sometimes the things that it's not working will kind of feel like it's showing that you're a failure. But keep going. As soon as you keep going, slowly but surely, something great will come. But it's just surround yourself with great people and keep pushing yourself.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. Any last closing remarks in regards to abundance, scarcity, surrounding yourself with the right people, and establishing your habits?
Absolutely. Don't stay in that scarcity. Don't stay in that scarcity for too long, because it's coming. It will chip away and it will get you. Don't try to think that you need to change the people. Right? Don't try to change the people. Change yourself first, and then automatically they'll start to see it. And if they want to follow it, they're going to come through with it. So make sure that you're surrounding yourself with great people, a great mindset, great ideas, and keep growing. Keep being abundant. And hopefully we'll meet one day. But just keep doing your thing, and we're gonna keep doing our thing too. And once those negativity and those fearful thoughts and doubts come in, just make sure that you're pouring positivity. You're pouring things that will counter those negative thoughts. Don't just sit. Don't sit. You have to actually do something to reverse those negative thoughts and be in the good communities, good environment, and good masterminds.
Thank you. And for people who enjoyed the message that you had today, is there any way that they can connect with you via LinkedIn or any other platforms?
Yeah, absolutely. Please, this is the YouTube, so like, comment, share at Lifestyle Clint. I would definitely love to hear your feedback. If you're taking down any notes, put those in the comments. If you have anything to add to this, definitely add it, because I like to learn and grow myself. And for my LinkedIn, it's Yao Isiama Clinton. Follow me on LinkedIn. Cybersecurity, lifestyle, mindset, everything. We talk about it. And Instagram is dark_Clint. I'm really everywhere, so you can find me.